This is Lord Mafka, aka Rogan Azraim, and in tonight's video, I want to talk about whether rich or poor, misery will arrive at your door. And I want to shout out IC Zion Rabbi for this video topic. Shouts out to you, man, for this video. And shouts out to you guys who tune into the videos. But without further ado, let's get into today's video topic. Now, whether you are a rich or a poor person, one thing is a adherent fact is as long as you are breathing on this planet, you are always going to have to deal with some type of adversity. You are always going to have to feel some type of unhappiness, whether it comes from a more external cause from the physical world or whether it comes from an internal issue from your relationships with the people around you. And for example, you may have a kid that grows up in a very wealthy family to where he gets all his favorite toys. He gets all the money in the world through at him to buy something. He gets all these new gaming consoles. And the one thing that he's missing is the love from his parents. He gets no affection at all because his parents are too busy throwing money at him thinking that that's love, and they're away on business venue trips and they're not able to make a bond with their child. And this may lead to that child who grew up with wealth hanging out with other wealthy kids who are on the bad side of life, right? Partying wildly at night, getting into illegal activities, taking illegal substance, and ruining their health, their life overall. And it's a sad thing. And on the other side of the spectrum, the poor kid who may grow up with a family who can barely feed them or keep a roof over their head. Their parents may be away to make more money, so they won't be able to love and nurture and care for them because they're busy making money for the family to survive. And that child may take up a life of crime just to get by. And do you see how both sides are suffering no matter who they are, rich or poor? Because this world is made for us to suffer as human beings. We always have some type of turmoil we're facing. We always have something that's trying to mess with us and give us a difficult life. You know, our ancestors fought tooth and nail just to survive. And when you have that type of DNA going through you, along with the type of modern environment that we live in today's society, you can't help but have your thoughts scrambled. Always wanting the next ambition to fulfill. Always thinking that there's this next goal for you to go towards. Because that is what's pushing the human drive even more. Not just the internal realms of us having DNA of people who long came before us and how we are wired as humans. It's also the outside world. All of the glorified light shows around us of technology, materialism, being flashed in front of us. And then we start to think that, oh, money will solve our problems. Oh, if we have less money, if we have less material, we have less issues. No. If you are a human breathing on this planet, you are going to suffer. You can still catch a deadly disease. You can still be bullied and harassed by people. You can still feel like you are alone, facing depression, facing extreme anxiety, not wanting to go out anywhere, and just feeling like you want to give up no matter the position that you're in. You know, one simple fact about human nature is humans take more than they give. That's like you could be a poor person who has a next best idea, a song that you may put out that could get you real big, or a writing that could make you global, or anything that you do, right? A career field of making your business excel in stocks, whatever it is, right? And you may have people who look at you and see, oh, they're on the come up. How can I steal his idea? How can I get him to think that I'm on his side, or vice versa, right? And make them feel comfortable so I can take everything from them when they're not looking. That's what you have to deal with as a poor person. And when you're a rich person, you have to deal with, okay, how can I make this person with money think that I love them for who they are? How can I deceive them into giving me money, giving me material? How can I get them set up to make a fool out of them and possibly exploit them and do worse to them and get money from them out of doing that? So either way, you are dealing with exploitation. That is human nature at its finest. Deception, Exploitation. That is what you're always going to be dealing with, whether you're in the realms of being in poverty, whether you're in the realms of abundance. Adversity is the lineage of life. And this is something that you cannot escape from. The only thing that you can do is find ways to cope and endure this stuff, man. Because everything that you see around you is made for you to want more. You know, that kid who's growing up who barely has shoes on his feet that are just torn apart, they look up on the billboards and they see people that are famous with money saying, wow, I want to be just like them one day. I want to make my dreams come true. I want to get away from a family that is possibly not just supporting me in whatever I want to do, telling me that I'll never be able to do that. And then vice versa, you have the rich people. You might have the rich person who grew up younger with a family telling them, oh, this is how you're supposed to live. This is how you're supposed to think. You're not supposed to want to be around these certain people. You're not supposed to want to carry yourself this way and have a normal everyday life. They grow up very sheltered and controlled. So you see, either way, you were being manipulated, you were being controlled just on different scenarios. That's why I say suffering comes in all shapes and forms. So you have to start looking at the bigger picture here of what are you going to do to combat all of these adversities around you, man, or at least try to escape from it. Because that is the biggest thing that we have to hit home in this video is whether you're a poor or rich person, you have to be trying to escape from the adversity with everything in you. Because that's all we can do. You cannot make a whole new revolution, a whole new movement to take on all these darker forces that are on the planet right now of people that are geared towards exploitation and your downfall as a human being. You can't do stuff like that because what's going to happen is more turmoil being put in your life. And you also have the people on the opposite side of the spectrum, whether they're rich or poor. Their deeds are very malevolent. They have very evil practices that they want to put upon the world. So when you have both sides, both factions, rich or poor, with these type of toxic ideals in life, you can't help but lose as a human being. You can't help but wonder when we're going to become extinct. Because everyone is making their problems into a competition and they are just contributing to the issue by losing the capability to understand where someone else is coming from. You see? So the best thing you can do is do your best to avoid adversity. Go the other way. Do not listen to all of these self-improvement loser, red pill, rat gurus who tell you, oh, go near adversity. That's how you're going to become successful. It's worth the success. No, it's not worth the success. It mostly isn't. Look what happened to Robin Williams. That guy had money. He had people around him, but he didn't feel loved and he gave up on life, sadly. Success does not solve all of your problems, man. And being poor, it's no different either because you're still dealing with suffering. As long as you're in a physical vessel, there is always going to be things that you are going to dislike. There's always going to be things coming up in your life that you have to deal with. This is the natural state of humanity. And you may have some people argue, okay, when humanity as a whole tries to evolve out of that, get into genetic splicing, coming up with more technology to prolong the human lifespan, maybe then it will get better. When in reality, it's not going to get any better then. Because you have to look at, even if humanity goes towards that path in a more quicker rate, right? You still have to worry about other external forces. You still have to worry about other human beings who want to manipulate, control people, who want to profit, who want to use other people's misery, their shortcomings as a circus for them to be entertained from. You see? You see how deep the rabbit hole gets when you start peeling back the layers of whether you're rich or poor? It always goes back to human nature. Humans take more than they give. That is the one thing you have to get from this video. Once you understand that, you will not expect any type of kindness from people. And even when people are kind to you, you know not to trust it all the way, because it could be a ploy of deception. That is what this world is ran off. Mischievousness. It's ran off secrecy. It's ran off unfulfillment, whether you're rich or poor. The money will never make you feel fulfilled. And chasing after money, chasing after the money will never make you fulfilled. Sinus is screwing up here, but yeah. Either way, you are going to deal with issues. It's all about the actions that you're going to take to try and avoid those adversities in life. And you can do everything to the best of your ability to avoid it. And you'll still end up catching the despair. You'll still end up being the laughing stock at the end. We all end up as the sitcom at the end of the day, as they say, as the lost one. We are the children of the worthless one, the ones of darkness. I mean, it's just brutal. Either way, rich or poor, you are the lost one. You were made for darkness. And the only thing that you can do is try to suppress that darkness, man. And that's all we're ever doing in life, is when we call ourselves going after these ambitions. We call ourselves trying to find outlets to cope emotionally. That's all you can do. Just do it in the healthiest manner as you can, and stay far away from these people, dude, because they're insane. They will make your life even more of a living hell. So it's best to be on your own for the most part, and forget about socializing, whether you're rich or poor, because you will always have misery at your door. But you guys take care. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you guys want me to elaborate on in the comment section. I highly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.